What's up, guys? We're back here in Archeworld. Let's talk about some investment ideas. This has already played out in the North America region, right? So we talked about this about 1 month ago. North America saw the yellow archeum core shards and yellow archeum shards or cores go skyrocketing up. This is the Asia server right now. And so you can notice the prices are somewhat comparative, but if we look at the price graph, we can see that about 2 weeks ago, the prices of these shards were still only about 14, and just recently, just a couple of days ago, they started to sell out. 800 shards sold there, went up to 16. Then the next day, another 636 shards sold, all the way up to the highest of 40. Now the supply is being dried, and we're getting to a 0.38 to 0.50 sell price. Around 192 have sold. There's not many for sale on the auction house anymore. And completed yellow cores are also seeing a similar spike in value. So a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, we go all the way back here, 65 BSLT, 64, 60, 69, 70, 75, etc. And just yesterday, all the way up to 95. If you followed the North America trends, you saw that these things are getting up to 300, 400, potentially even 500 BSLT. And the reason that the Asia server is lagging behind this is because Asia had approximately 9 months extra farming time before yellow shards and yellow cores were needed. So they had so many more months of farming where there were so many more of these items produced in the world, and they still need to kill and to dry up all these supply. But they are at that tipping point, it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and buy these two up. And there's another part of this that has seen a massive spike in value as well. Those are purple infusions. So we type in infusion, we search, and then we go over to the grade here for arcane. And we go and take a look at this, and you'll see that these guys have seen pretty steep price increase as well, even on the Asia server. So 0.40 BSLT per one right now. And the reason that those cores were a perfect buy to buy is because in order to craft a core, you need 100 of those shards, and then you also need 300 of these purple infusions. And so if 300 purple infusions is going to cost 120 BSLT, plus now the shard price of around, say, 50, you're looking at 170. And we were able to pick those cores up for, what, 99 and then 120? So it's a profitable thing to do, and you can just see the charts here. These things are going up. If you've been, again, following the North America server, you'll notice that these things are becoming more and more valuable because more and more players are reaching tier 6 weapons and armors. Also, on the Asian server, with the new Kraken nerf, there may be a chance that the Kraken gets killed. And if the Kraken does get killed, you're going to start seeing tier 7 weapon attempts happening. That right there is a insane amount of materials needed, specifically those yellow cores. So we go over here to the Awakening Scrolls, and we take a look at the recipe. It's nothing too crazy. Still got a yellow Shotgun Heroic Crystal, but the big thing is 10 of these yellow Archeum cores. You also need 60 of the Kraken Soul Fragments. So this cannot be started until the Kraken starts dying. And then once it does happen, the only item that is going to see a significant increase in value is going to be the yellow Archeum cores, because every attempt you're going to need 10 of these things. So holding on to these guys for future investments when they do get to 300, 400, or 500 BSLT could be a great thing to do. The prices have already gotten pretty high on the North America server. I don't really recommend investing in these things over there, but here on the Asian server, as you saw, they were still about 100 BSLT, which is a great time to pick some up and store for the future price increases of 3, 4, 500, right? If you can buy something for 100 BSLT and then sell it for 500 BSLT in a month, that is a great profit right there. You know, 5 times your money, Very, very good, very, very solid investment. Even if the Kraken is not killable still, I do think that we will still see more nerfs coming to the Kraken, or potentially more ways to get the Kraken soul fragments. So they do need a lot of these. They need 60 of the soul fragments. So hopefully the Kraken will drop a lot of fragments, and if not, they have to kill the Kraken multiple times. But that will get people excited and ready for these tier 7 weapons and armors. There's only a couple of players that actually are up at that tier 7 range, and they're probably not even really ready yet for them, because in order to become a tier 7, you have to have a maxed out tier 6. So if we take a look at the top player on the Asian server here, which is still mind-blowing here, that 27,000 is the top player. And then on the North America server, we have AUCTION, who is at an insane amount of 29,000 gear score. So right here, they're not even ready for a tier 7, because they still need 7 million more archeum to be fed to their staff. You can only upgrade a maxed out full XP weapon or armor, so 7 million archeum is going to take a little while of time. But as we all know, the top whales, they just spend, and will buy that archeum in no time. And the same thing, that you may be thinking 500 for a yellow archeum core is a lot of money, and it really is, but to a whale, that's nothing. They don't care about that at all. They just want to upgrade their gear. And then on top of that, when you do an upgrade, it's not a guaranteed upgrade. We don't know what the chances of success on this, but they will attempt this multiple times, spending 10 of those yellow cores every single attempt at the upgrade. Of course, they're going to need 60 of the Kraken soul fragments every single upgrade as well, and some other materials. But if they're able to kill the Kraken, they'll constantly be farming that thing and getting it down as quick as possible so they can get the loot and get that tier 7 weapons and armors. So this is why I think and thought that the yellow shards and cores were going to be a great investment, and that's already played out. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you guys later. You always got to look for these opportunities and think about the future. Think about the next path, the items that are not being used currently that potentially have a big use case in the future. And again, the whales will pay pretty much anything for items. They don't really care about prices. Money is no object to them. So that is a way where these things just go up and up and up. Because, hey, if it's only 50 BSLT, no big deal, buy. If it's 500 BSLT, no big deal. These are the players that are staking 100,000 BSLT. No problem, no second guessing, just staking 100,000 BSLT. So, what's next? We will have to see what's going forward, but I do think that potentially the yellow stuff can actually go up further, especially on the Asian server. On the American server as well, it all depends on what the Kraken killed. If the Kraken starts getting killed, we have potential for more skyrocketing yellow cores, because once again, 10 cores in every craft, so that could be extremely profitable for those cores. You can still farm the cores. Cores have not stopped dropping. You can farm them from the rifts, but people are not doing as many rifts, and they're just not thinking the rifts are valuable. As the price of these items go up, yellow shards, yellow cores, purple infusions, rifts become more and more valuable, and more people should in turn start be farming the rifts again for these items. So it's a cycle. It is a player-run economy. Things will go up and things will go down. Excel Games can also throw us a big curveball and release more of these items via special events or drops elsewhere, or in a cash shop item, or off the blue archeum shop, etc., or on the slot machine, the roulette wheel, anywhere. If they produce more of these things, then the value of them will go down. If they give us, conversely, if they give us another crafting recipe that requires a lot of yellow core or shards, these things will go up further in value. So that's one of the things I look forward to, investing in the game. And then there's also things like the processing machines. So I haven't taken a look here on the Asian server, but the processing machines were a great buy on the North America server. When there was the massive panic, the processing machines, specifically the blue ones, went down to about 300 BSLT. And you can see now they have stabilized right back up to 800 BSLT. So a great thing here to pick up when they were really cheap, and then flip them 1 month, 2 months later for double or triple your profits. The green processing machines also saw the same effect. The beds also saw the same effect. So you just have to be, have your mind open, have your eyes open, peeled for these opportunities that do appear from time to time based on the economy and how the players are acting and reacting to updates. So the processing machines, for those that aren't familiar with it, there was a massive land change with how like the blue stars were earned, and people were saying, oh, land kind of sucks. They weren't really making money off of land, so a lot of people dumped their lands, aka also dumping their processing machines in the process, which then dropped the prices significantly down below the crafting cost of these things. So it was like you could buy a processing machine for 300 BSLT, but in order to craft this thing, if someone actually wanted to craft it themselves, it would cost you 700 or 800 BSLT. So it was like a no-brainer of like, why wouldn't I just buy it and then potentially wait for the price to go back up, or just use it myself? And that's what I've done on my North America server. And then we also have sold some of these. So let me know if you have any questions or comments. We cannot do a bunch of these videos because there's not a lot of mispriced items, and they do happen sporadically. Like I said, the processing machines were a great buy. I know several people definitely took advantage of the processing machines. Hopefully some people did take advantage of the yellow shards and cores and can still actually take advantage of it in the future here on the Asian server, because it does look like we are starting to see the just big spike of the price on these things on the Asian server now. Alright guys, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.